Today we're checking out the new M3 iPad Air 2025. I've got to say though, if you compare this new iPad to the previous M2 version, this might be the smallest change I've seen from year to year on any product. It still comes in two different sizes, 11 and 13 inches. Comes with the same color options. I went with Starlight just to try something different. Pricing starts at $599 with 128 gigabytes of storage. You also have 256, 512, or 1 terabyte as well. And then of course you have a cellular version. This also has the same Wi-Fi 6E as the previous version. This is about as close to silver as you can get. Kind of surprised they're calling this Starlight. I mean, maybe if the light hits it just right, I don't know, maybe they were running low on paint. You can sort of tell the difference here when you put it next to Space Gray. There's just a hint of tan or gold to it. You'll also notice they got rid of where it says iPad Air. If you're wondering the size difference on the iPad Air and the regular iPad 11, A16, they're pretty much identical. The Air's just a hair thinner, but not by much. The screen size on the one I have here is 11 inches. Technically it's 10.86, but it's just easier to say 11 inches. So I'm okay with Apple calling this 11 inches. It's a fully laminated liquid retina IPS LCD display at 2360 by 1640 resolution. Still 60 Hz refresh rate. It's the same size, same brightness at 500 nits. You can see the same size bezels all the way around as the previous iPad Air. Again, pretty minimal changes with this one. Software wise, it's basically identical since you also had Apple Intelligence on the M2 iPad Air. You also have Stage Manager, which you don't get on the base model iPad that just came out for some reason. I mean, I guess you might get 1 year longer on software updates for this, but it's still using the same USB-C Apple Pencil or Apple Pencil Pro, which is definitely one of the best ways for drawing, taking notes, or just moving around the software. You can also use the same Magic Keyboard, which is nice if you already have accessories from the older model. You can also use those on the new M3 version as well. You also have Touch ID right on the power button, just like before. One thing that I do forget to mention sometimes, you have video out on here where you can use an HDMI adapter to connect to a projector, TV, or external monitor. It's currently using about 26 gigabytes of the 128 gigabytes available. Probably one of the best features on iPads is AirDrop. To get files from your iPad to a Mac or other Apple products just makes it a lot easier in my opinion. Not a huge surprise, but the screen quality on here looks just as good as the previous iPad Air. I know some people don't like that it's only 60 Hz. I think it's plenty bright enough for most things, especially for indoor use. Obviously, they're not going to make it the best screen quality because they want you to upgrade to the Pro version. Yes, there's a nice increase in performance going from the M2 to the M3 chip, but not by as much as you would think. As you can see by the Geekbench scores, same thing with GPU performance. It still has 8 gigabytes of RAM. I just can't imagine what you would need to do to have better performance than the M2 chip, but I guess it's nice to have for the future. Probably not a big enough jump to upgrade if you already have the M2 iPad Air. I also ran my typical battery drain test at 100% screen brightness, and not a huge surprise, but this one lasted about the same as the previous iPad Air at 5 hours. Obviously, once you turn the screen brightness down, you can probably about double that time, but should be plenty of power to last a couple days normal use. You still have one speaker on each side, even if it looks like two. If you listen closely in person, you'll hear the sound coming from one speaker on one side more than the other. But here's a quick sample just to give you an idea of how it sounds. To me, it's pretty much the same as the previous iPad Air. You've also got the same cameras with a 12 megapixel wide angle lens on the back, 12 megapixel ultra wide on the front, including center stage. Front facing camera is there on the long edge, just like before. In the camera app, you've got pano, square, photo, video, slow-mo, and time-lapse. You can also shoot up to 4K 60 frames per second for video recording. Decent shutter speed on here. I wouldn't be surprised if they're using the same exact cameras as the previous version, but here's a few quick samples of photo and video just to give you an idea of what to expect on the new iPad Air M3. I've got to say though, now that I'm reviewing the new M3 iPad Air, I can't help but think about the new entry-level iPad 11 with the A16 chip. Considering it has a lot of the same features, I almost feel like that has better value than this iPad, but of course I'll do a closer comparison just to make sure. I feel like if you have the M2 iPad Air, I can't really see people upgrading to this one, but I'll definitely have some comparison videos coming soon, so you'll want to keep an eye out for those upcoming videos.
So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.